Hi everybody, you've arrived at Todd's World of Cooking, and today I'm going to show you how to make corn bisque. It's absolutely delicious, smooth, silky, and amazing. Now I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that notification bell. Now here are the 5 ingredients you're going to need. Alright, so let's get started. You're going to use a sharp knife and cut the corn down into a nice large bowl. You want to make sure that your knife is nice and sharp. Makes it a lot easier. You don't have to worry about getting all of the hairs off of the corn when you husk it, because we are going to be putting this through a fine mesh strainer. And we want to make sure we get all of those delicious sweet corn kernels cut off of the cob. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the back of the knife and we're going to scrape all of the juices off the cob and down into the bowl. There's a lot of sweet flavor that's still in that cob and we want to scrape it all down in there. Make sure you use the back of your knife, otherwise you're just going to be cutting back into the cob and that's not going to work very well. Now 5 cobs later, I'm just going to finish off scraping those juices down into the bowl using the back of my knife. And that is it for the prep work. Now using a heavy bottomed saucepan, we're going to put our corn into it. Let's get all of that in there. Try to get as much of those sweet corny juices down in there, out of the bowl. And then we're going to turn the heat up to medium-high to start cooking the corn. Just give it a slight mix, and the next thing we're going to do is add our butter. And you don't need to mix this around because it is going to melt, but I always do because it just seems like the right thing to do. And then we're going to add our broth. You can use either vegetable broth or chicken broth. I'm using vegetable broth here. And we're just going to give it a little bit of a mix and then bring it up to a boil. Now that we're at a boil, we're going to just give it a quick stir and turn the heat down to about medium-low, and we're going to leave it at that temperature for the rest of the process. And now we're going to add our salt. And there's our salt. And our cayenne pepper. And you can put more cayenne if you like. I'm just doing a couple pinches right now. But if you want a little bit of an extra bite to this corn bisque, as far as I'm concerned, the more cayenne pepper you put in it, the better. Now we're going to give it a little stir and then let this cook for about 3.5 minutes. Once that time is up, we're going to take it off of the heat, set it aside, and let it cool for about 15 minutes. The reason why we want it to cool is we're going to be putting it into a blender, and you really don't want to blend hot liquids because it'll end up all over your kitchen. So we have our now cooled down, not cold, still hot, but cooled down corn. We're going to put it into the blender. Always make sure that you spill some on the cutting board or counter, because you know that's something you need to do. Now we're going to go ahead and blend this up. Make sure you have a nice tight fitting lid over your blender, otherwise hold the lid down with a towel just in case it decides to spatter out on you. We're going to blend this for about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. You want it to be as smooth as you can get it at this point. We're going to make it a lot smoother later on. While the blender was running, I went ahead and washed the pan out, so we're going to use the same pan. Put a fine mesh strainer over it and then pour our now liquefied corn into the strainer. And now we're going to use the back of a spoon, or you can use a spatula, and we're going to start pressing the corn mixture through the strainer. Now at first it might seem like nothing's happening, but you'll see. You can see a little bit down there already. It's going to take a few minutes to do this, but it's a step that you cannot skip, because what this is going to do is remove all of the tough little particles that come with corn. And that's what we want in order to make this nice and smooth and silky and amazing. You can see that our pan is filling up with the delicious, amazing corn bisque. And you'll see different changes as you go through this. It looks kind of like a liquidy paste right now. You just keep going, keep pressing all of that liquid through the strainer using the back of your spoon or spatula. It's looking more like a paste now. Just press and press and press, and you will be so happy that you did this. Now here we are, we're just about at the end of the pressing process. All that's left behind are the fibers from the corn, from the kernels. You know, that part around the kernel that, you know, gets stuck in your teeth when you eat popcorn. This is what we're leaving behind. And now we're done, and there's our corn bisque. Look how smooth and silky this is. It's amazing. The texture, the flavors, it's just absolutely amazing. And we're just going to go ahead and plate it up. If you're not going to serve it right away, you can set it aside, you can heat it up. I wouldn't suggest putting it in a microwave. I would suggest heating it slowly on a stovetop. I think a microwave would probably give it little crusty things around the edge, and we don't want that. This stuff is so luxurious. Just take that extra couple of minutes to reheat it on the stovetop. And there we have it. I'm just going to garnish with a little bit of paprika Can't wait to taste this. Well, I already know that it tastes good because I've made this many times. This corn bisque is so delicious and satisfying in both texture and taste, with the sweetness from the corn and a slight kick from the cayenne pepper. I guarantee you are going to love this corn bisque. And there you have it, corn bisque. Thanks for watching, and as always, have an awesome day.